So I'm going to check the numerology first. Excuse the noise outside. It's an 11, which is a master number. We can use it as an 11, or we can break it down to a 2, which is about unity and cooperation, negotiation. But as an 11 to me, as I've said in previous readings, 11 to me is always signaling that we need to be careful of our thoughts, because we can actually create from that high vibration energy, and we need to be wary of what our thoughts are projecting outwards. So it's interesting that the basis of your reading is the Empress. I really love that card for an Empress card. Actually, and this deck actually really resonates with me for some reason. To me, Empress signifies creation. And it's interesting that the numerology is an 11. It's about creation, about being careful about how you create, because you're creating from a very conscious state. And an Empress is very conscious. She knows what she's doing, and she's creating from a very conscious state. So what are you creating, Scorpio? Because whatever it is, there's going to be a lot of movement coming into March. Hopefully you'll get this reading in the first couple of days of March, because you're going to start off March with quite a bit of energy. There's a lot of movement happening, a lot of momentum. But with this card, I also feel that any action you take, any decisions you make sure that you leave the past behind. Don't let the ghosts of the past follow you into your new creation. And this is definitely a new creation of some description. So be aware of what you're creating. It can also signify that you need to take, if you're creating something, take a rapid response. Do it quickly. Do it decisively and quickly. Take action. But make sure that before you go forward, that you are very focused, you know what your intention is, and you're going to move forward clearly. And like I said before, don't let the past influence your actions in any way. 8 of Wands generally can indicate travel. It can also indicate communications with people, or communications with people from afar. So if that relates to you in any way, but more so I'm getting action being taken, and to do it swiftly and quickly, but with focused intent. What you're missing, the Queen of Pentacles here is, maybe you're missing someone who's stable. Maybe it's yourself. Maybe you're missing that sense of stability and financial stability, to create that for yourself. I mean, it's a queen, but it's a yin energy, and she's still a queen though, but she's more receptive than the king energy. She's less of a leader, more of a quiet achiever. She just gets on with the job. So whether that's you or somebody else, maybe you are missing someone, maybe there is this energy that you're missing, stability of a relationship with this person, or maybe a mother figure, or maybe just the sense that you don't have that financial stability for yourself. The reason why you don't have it, I don't think you're being grateful for what you have. I don't think that you're really recognizing what you do have. It's almost like you feel a sense of apathy here. It's like you feel like you've put in a lot of work and effort into something, and you don't feel like you got out of it what you were hoping to get out of it. And so you don't feel stable. You don't feel like this queen energy. If this is you, Scorpio, you don't feel like you're holding your own. that you are in control of your own destiny, and that you're achieving whatever it is that you have set out to do. Yeah, you're not feeling that your effort or you're feeling that your effort has gone to waste. But if you have a look at the ghost carrying 2 pentacles, but look behind him, he doesn't see it. He's not looking at it, and he's got the frown on his face because he's thinking, oh, I don't have enough. But in actual fact, you have more than enough. You've got more than what you're holding, but you're not seeing that for some reason. And again, I'm going to go back to the 11 energy of this reading. Be careful what you're focusing on, because you're just focusing on 2 things here, and you've got 5 behind you. You've got far more than what you're focusing on. And maybe a shift of perception is needed in order to see that. I think with that, I see that also as an advice card in this spread. Be patient. I think maybe you're wanting things too quickly, and maybe this is that 8 of Wands energy. You want to move quickly. You want to create something quickly. But maybe you're moving too fast, and you need to be a little bit more patient in order to reach this stability and satisfaction of being the Queen of Pentacles. Your advice: do not drown in your emotions. Very clearly, there is disappointment, but this energy, this emotional energy, and Scorpio, you are the highlight of the water signs, and I don't mean that to disregard all the other water signs, but your energy is very potent. You really do hit the heart of the matter, especially emotionally. But having that energy and that power, you can sometimes get bogged down with that energy, and don't get bogged down with the emotional issues. Maybe look at things more pragmatically. Maybe definitely look at it more pragmatically. Look at what you have achieved materially or physically, as opposed to focusing on the emotions so intently that you drown in them and you can't see a way out. But also, don't be complacent. Again, even with the 7 of Pentacles, there's maybe complacency about where you're at or what you've achieved. And the 4 of Cups is also about that. Avoid complacency. Also, indifference. Maybe you're just not stimulated by something and you've become indifferent to it. Don't fall into that trap of indifference. Remember, you are the Empress here, and you're creating this whole energy here. You are creating this, and I want to stress that again. So be careful what you're creating. Don't create indifference, don't create complacency, and don't drown in your emotions. What's coming up for you in March is probably what you're searching for: stability and confidence. Exactly that. Maybe you do turn things around. I mean, the 8 of Wands is saying there's going to be forward motion. So maybe these are just telling you that you can achieve more, and just don't get bogged down with the emotional stuff, and don't be complacent about where you're at. But you will, in March, come to a place of satisfaction that you have achieved and created something. It's an interesting card. I hope you can see that. But this card is saying, to take a deep breath and relax, because you've achieved some semblance of stability and confidence, especially with financial matters, or even with physical matters, physical things being settled. You've got 3 pentacles, the pentacle cards, which you've also got 2 cups. So there's an emotional energy in here as well, but you don't need much more of the emotional energy, Scorpio. You're emotional enough, or you have enough emotion to carry a spread. So a bit of groundedness possibly is needed here, a bit more groundedness. Again, yes, be more grounded, and you will achieve some sort of stability here, whether it's financial or material, or even stability in a relationship. But with Nine of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite, it's the symbol of the female standing alone. In this card, I think that's the mother there, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children. Maybe you've achieved all this on your own as well. You've accumulated all of this on your own through diligence and hard work. Ultimately, you have a beautiful card as the outcome card. Another sign had this one as well in the same position. The Ace of Cups, and it's a resurgence or breakthrough of emotion, the fulfillment or the expression of emotion, those first stirrings of emotion. You know, if it's related to a love relationship, it's those first stirrings of romance that give rise to those beautiful emotions. So it's actually a really good outcome card to have. I don't think your spread is all that bad anyway. This movement, it's just saying don't be complacent and don't take for granted what you already have, and don't be indifferent to what you have accumulated, because you will have all that you want. You will have that stability and support and comfort. And even more than that, you're going to have emotional fulfillment as well for March. Scorpio, that's a great reading. Goodness, that's a great reading. And having the Empress as your base here, it's saying to me that you are creating all of this yourself. So remember that. Remember to watch your thoughts, and remember to be grateful. Yes. All right, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed that and that it gives you some insight